The royal family is no stranger to controversy, but nothing stirs the pot quite like the latest debacle involving Queen Consort Camilla. In an unprecedented move, Camilla has chosen to auction off a portion of Queen Elizabeth II's beloved horses, an act that has sent shockwaves through the royal family and beyond. These horses, integral to the late Queen's legacy, were more than just royal animals. They were symbols of her reign, her devotion to British traditions, and her personal passion for equestrianism. So when Camilla, who let's face it, already struggles to endear herself to the public, decided to sell them, it was bound to raise eyebrows. It is a sad irony that Queen Elizabeth, a monarch who spent her life cultivating a reputation of dignity and grace, should be remembered by the sale of her most treasured possessions. But then again, Camilla has always had a way of making history bend to her will. Whether this latest chapter in royal affairs will go down as one of betrayal or mere negligence remains to be seen, but one thing is clear, the damage has already been done. The royal family's scandalous debacles continue to provide endless fodder for both public speculation and scathing commentary, and the latest incident revolving around Camilla's decision to auction off Queen Elizabeth II's beloved horses has certainly opened a fresh wound in an already troubled monarchy. For those who have long seen Camilla as little more than a calculated opportunist, one who clawed her way into the royal family with all the grace of a cat burglar, the decision to sell off a significant part of Queen Elizabeth's equestrian legacy is hardly surprising. In fact, it's exactly what one might expect from someone whose entire royal career has been built on self-interest and a thirst for power. From the outset, Camilla's position within the royal family has been tainted with controversy. She is, after all, a woman who spent years publicly pursuing Prince Charles while he was still married to Princess Diana, making no attempt to hide her ambition to take her place as the wife of the future king. Her apparent lack of remorse, combined with a series of highly publicized missteps, has earned her the ire of many in Britain. Now, with this latest decision, Camilla has once again demonstrated her utter disregard for tradition and the values that the royal family purports to uphold. One can hardly ignore the irony of it all. Camilla, a woman who spent decades as the mistress in a scandalous affair, finally ascends to the throne as queen consort only to prove that the very qualities that propelled her into the royal spotlight, her cunning, her opportunism, her willingness to do whatever it takes to climb the social ladder, are the ones that now define her reign. It's almost as if, having finally achieved the title she so long desired, she's hell-bent on undermining the very traditions and legacies that have kept the monarchy relevant for centuries. Her decision to auction off Queen Elizabeth's horses, some of which had been bred and cared for by the late Queen herself, smacks of a selfish, short-sighted attempt to rid herself of anything she deems unnecessary. Perhaps, in the same way she once shed her own conscience to become Charles's mistress, horses, after all, don't make for a glamorous lifestyle. They're expensive, time-consuming, and to someone like Camilla, a reminder of a past life she'd rather forget. What she fails to grasp, however, is that the horses are not merely assets to be discarded. They are, for many, symbols of the Queen's enduring legacy and dedication to royal traditions. While Camilla may see these prized animals as little more than relics of an era she's eager to distance herself from, to others they are living, breathing reminders of Queen Elizabeth's reign. For Princess Anne, the Queen's only daughter and a woman whose life has been defined by duty, this cavalier attitude is nothing short of appalling. Princess Anne, known for her no-nonsense demeanor and deep respect for royal history, has long been a staunch defender of the monarchy's values, and she's not about to let Camilla's thoughtless actions tarnish the legacy of her mother. Anne's reaction to Camilla's decision is both poignant and powerful. Far from being a passive bystander, Anne has reportedly taken it upon herself to confront King Charles over the sale of the horses, warning him of the disastrous implications such a move could have on the royal family's reputation. The fact that Anne, a woman known for her strong-willed nature, has stepped into the fray is a testament to her unwavering commitment to preserving the integrity of the monarchy. While others may have quietly accepted Camilla's actions as part and parcel of royal life, Anne is unafraid to speak up, and in doing so, she has become the voice of reason in an otherwise chaotic royal household. What makes Anne's intervention even more striking is the stark contrast it draws to Camilla's character. Whereas Camilla has spent her life manipulating circumstances to her advantage, and has always placed duty and loyalty above all else, Anne's love for horses and her deep bond with her late mother's equestrian legacy make her an unlikely hero in this debacle. She is not just protecting her mother's memory, she is defending the very essence of the monarchy. Anne understands, perhaps better than anyone else, the power of symbolism in maintaining the royal family's relevance. To her, the horses are not just animals. They are a vital link to the past, a living testament to the Queen's unwavering dedication to her role and the values she upheld. As Anne's voice rings out in defense of her mother's legacy, Camilla's efforts to diminish that legacy by selling off the Queen's horses become all the more grotesque. One cannot help but wonder, is Camilla simply trying to erase the traces of a past she never fully controlled? Or is she motivated by a deeper, more insidious desire to make her mark on a royal family that has never truly embraced her? What is especially galling about this entire situation is the fact that Camilla, who has struggled to win the public's affection for years, is now jeopardizing the royal family's reputation with a series of thoughtless actions. Despite her newfound title as Queen Consort, she remains, in many eyes, the woman who tore apart the fairy tale of Charles and Diana, and now, in her latest misstep, she has chosen to sell off the very symbols that tied Queen Elizabeth to the people she served for over 70 years. The decision has sparked a firestorm of discontent, especially from Princess Anne, who has long been the epitome of royal duty and tradition. Anne, a woman who has dedicated her entire life to upholding the values of the monarchy, reportedly confronted King Charles with a blistering warning about the damage this move could cause to the royal family's image. Anne's dismay is not just about the horses, it's about what they represent, a tangible link to the Queen's reign and a cherished legacy that cannot simply be sold off to the highest bidder. What's worse is that King Charles, who could have put his foot down and sided with his sister in this matter, has instead chosen to endorse Camilla's decision. This is not just a betrayal of his mother's legacy, it's a betrayal of the monarchy itself. Charles's blind support of Camilla, despite her apparent disregard for royal traditions, is a sign of the depths of his loyalty to her. If Camilla's behavior has been described as short-sighted, then Charles's endorsement of it only compounds the issue, casting doubt on his own commitment to the royal family's values. But where does this leave the monarchy? As Camilla continues to make missteps, it seems that Anne is becoming the royal family's last bastion of tradition and integrity. The fact that Anne is willing to step forward and challenge her brother, who, let's be honest, is already walking a fine line between relevance and scandal, is a powerful reminder that the monarchy is, at its core, still defined by duty, not personal ambition. Camilla's decision to auction off the horses may seem like a small, almost insignificant matter in the grand scheme of royal affairs, but the fallout from this move will be felt for years to come. The damage has already been done, and no amount of royal titles or royal decrees can undo the harm inflicted by her careless actions. Meanwhile, Princess Anne will continue to be the steadfast defender of her mother's legacy and the protector of royal tradition, two qualities that Camilla, for all her manipulation and ambition, will never be able to claim. Let's get one thing straight, Camilla, the so-called consort, has once again managed to stumble her way through the royal spotlight with all the grace of an elephant in ballet slippers. With her decision to auction off Queen Elizabeth II's treasured horses, she's shown the world just how much she truly understands, or rather, fails to understand, the delicate art of royal duty. It's as if, in her relentless pursuit of power, she's forgotten the very foundations of the monarchy that elevated her from the mistress of Prince Charles to his wife. But of course, why would she care about legacy, tradition, or anything that doesn't directly benefit her? After all, this is Camilla we're talking about, the woman who waited decades for her rightful place at the top, willing to do anything to claim it. Let's take a moment to truly appreciate the magnitude of her misstep. The horses, those magnificent, regal creatures, were not just animals. They were symbols of Queen Elizabeth's reign, the embodiment of her love for tradition, her devotion to royal duties, and her lifelong passion for equestrianism. These horses weren't just part of the family's property, they were living, breathing links to a past that, in Camilla's eyes, perhaps seemed more like a burden than a blessing. And so, she decided to auction them off, as though they were nothing more than trinkets to be sold to the highest bidder. A move so short-sighted, it could only have been made by someone with no understanding of the weight of history. In doing so, Camilla has proven something that many have long suspected. She is, above all, an opportunist. This is not a woman who values the legacy of the monarchy, or respects its traditions. This is a woman who has always done whatever it takes to climb to the top. Whether that meant tearing apart a marriage, or casting aside the royal family's most cherished symbols, Camilla has never hesitated to prioritize her own desires over the well-being of the monarchy. And so, we return to Princess Anne, the one royal who continues to stand firm in her dedication to duty, honor, and tradition. Unlike her stepmother, Anne has never wavered in her commitment to the values that have made the British monarchy one of the most enduring institutions in the world. Anne's determination to protect her mother's legacy and preserve the monarchy's integrity speaks volumes about her character. She is the one true defender of the royal family's honor in this troubled time. And as for Camilla, well, her actions will likely define her reign in a way she never intended, by forever tarnishing the legacy of the monarchy she worked so hard to join. In the end, the monarchy will survive, but at what cost? Will it continue to be the symbol of tradition, or will it become yet another casualty of Camilla's ambition? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, Princess Anne will be watching, ready to protect the royal legacy from those who seek to undermine it.